Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Welcome to another episode of Inside.
No, you did it. It's always been on. Damn, you gonna start with damn, nigga.
I think you got a delay. I think you got
all right.
I think you got a delay.
No. Go.
Yeah, he got a delay. He
got a delay.
Welcome to another episode. I can't even keep a straight face because you keep.
Welcome to another episode of Inside the Mind of the Blerd. Today we are going to be doing Mortal Kombat review. So I guess stick around and see how that goes because we got
some words.
We got words and differing views. So you either with us or against us.
Mm-hmm. So with that being said, let's start with what was y'all first experience with Mortal Kombat? What's the first games y'all played?
The first Mortal Kombat game?
I told y'all I had when I was little, I had Sub-Zero, the Sub-Zero game, and when I couldn't win it, I gave it away. I traded it.
Ooh, yeah, you got a whooping.
Yeah.
That game was very difficult. I might have to say
the part that after I couldn't get past because it was a big old block that would come down, and it's towards the beginning of the game, and you had to run past it. If you didn't go fast enough, the shit was gonna smash you. So the solution was to freeze the shit before it could go, and I couldn't do that. Baby, listen, walking down the street, hey, what y'all got? What y'all got at y'all house? Because baby, after I couldn't freeze it after them multiple times, forget it. You not fit to listen. I ain't pay for this, but I did end up paying for that.
That whooping.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, it's difficult to say because my first memory of playing Mortal Kombat might have been somewhere around 2004, 2005 when I was in elementary school playing it on the GameCube. But my more recent memories, I have at least bought 3 of the last 6 years of the Mortal Kombat game. Have I played it fully? Absolutely not, because my attention span for video games is play it for a month and then forget about it. That being said, I do love Scorpion a lot. He's always been my favorite. And lightweight Sub-Zero too. Their rivalry is one of my favorites, and I just love just both of abilities.
Listen, talking about the on-site game, fictional on-site.
Right.
Big fact.
Them niggas ain't. As you can see, this is my avatar during this recording. I know we not to this point yet, but the actor, the costume, I fuck with it. I fuck with it. Hanzo was dope as hell. So shout out to Scorpion.
Can we just get into it? Because Steve know how I feel. Because Steve, what you doing?
On
that phone, Steve, what are you doing? You finished watching?
Called me twice. She called me and then after we hung up. No, I called you right back. Okay, never mind. I was about to say
No. I did call you again because I talked to you. I believe right after the movie, I finished it, and then what was it? Either the next day or something. Because I got to thinking about the shit again.
I'm so damn mad about this movie. I'm so damn mad about it.
I was like, we got to do a review. We need to do a review on this shit.
Fair enough.
I didn't know what I was expecting, but I would have to say I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
well, what's your Mortal Kombat experience?
I was about to say because I wanted everybody to kind of slide into it. Cam was slandering now.
Yeah, I was like, how's this title go? How long is this title gonna last? Anyway, so the first Mortal Kombat game I ever played was in how far was it? 1998 or 7. Around that area, which I played. It was MK. First MK game I played was on Sega. The thing was MK1 on Sega. Was it 2? Yeah, MK1 Sega.
Oh, so one was on Sega.
Yeah, it was 1. So I played MK1 on Sega. My most recent memory of that was whenever I think I was using Sonya Blade and I was using like Johnny Cage. It was in a stage that it was basically everyone was acid and it had like chains hanging around the ceiling and something like that. That was my.
That's Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
But okay, 2. Okay, that good. It was 2 then. Okay. But yeah, that was my most recent one. And so far, I've been keeping up with every MK series. So I played all of them, all the DLCs so far. I say I like how they were going with it. Whenever like remake, like they decided to like do a reboot on Mortal Kombat when MK9. Because I was like, I was feeling like, man, it was going to be it was going to be the same story, just like better graphics and different moves, right? I was like, nope. This motherfucker died, this motherfucker died, this motherfucker died. I'm like, god damn, moving him died too? I'm like, okay, well, I'm into it. And then I just kept on following it after MK9. So far, I like where I'm going with it. And that's, how MK12 is. Our story is 11 right now, right? That's out.
Yeah, it's 11 right now.
Okay, there we go. How MK11 go out about time with the time thing, so it looks interesting. So I'll say all the MK mechanics have been very good so far. So shout out to Eddie Boom.
But wait, hasn't 11 been out for a minute? Like 2+ years?
Yeah, about 2 years.
Yeah, they on Warner Brothers
wasn't they going on like almost every year?
No. It seems like that.
Oh, so has it been every 2 years a new Mortal Kombat come out?
No, it's every 2 years. NetherRealm drops the game, so the next one's going to be Injustice 3, if they do Injustice 3.
Yeah. So yeah,
they alternate Mortal Kombat and Injustice.
Yeah. So after they do a Mortal Kombat game, they go to Injustice. After Injustice, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say though, I did mention that Sub-Zero and Scorpion were my favorite characters, but honestly, the character I am absolutely in love with is Devora. I love that woman.
Devora.
That monster of a woman.
Devora.
Whatever. You know what? Tomato, whatever. She my queen.
Oh.
Well, she's the queen of the bees.
She's a bee.
Well, isn't Devora that lady with the wings in the movie?
No, that's Natara.
No, that's Natara.
Okay. I'm about to say that bitch died quick.
Get out of her, yo. Oh my god.
I'm like, that bitch died quick. I'm like, hold on, man.
Oh god.
I didn't even remember her from the game.
Hey.
She was in Deadly Alliance.
Yeah, I didn't even remember. See, but go ahead. Go ahead, Alpha. We're gonna get into this later. Go ahead.
Well, my introduction to Mortal Kombat was from Sega as well, back in the late 90s. So, and I've been playing it ever since. MK over Street Fighter and Tekken any day.
My first experience is basically whichever Mortal Kombat that was going whoopsie every time you got uppercutted.
Yeah, one.
Yeah.
That's one? Yeah, that shit. But I found out yesterday, bro, that you know what I found out yesterday?
He's not saying whoopsie, he's saying toasty.
He's saying toasty. I had no idea, bro.
Yeah, he was saying toasty.
I said the same thing. Like,
yeah, I didn't know about it. I was like, hold on, he's saying toasty? And that's what I said. I went back to watch all those old like MK1 videos, MK1, and like, oh, he's really saying toast. I thought I was saying whoopsie. And like, bro, that was during my childhood. I was like, damn,
bro, it made sense. It made sense.
Y'all, if I fuck around and eat this whole goddamn thing of Ritz crackers, I'm gonna be so fucking upset with myself because I can't stop. I can't
once you take one bite, it's a wrap,
bruh.
It's the plain ones, right?
Townhouse crackers be the
That's the
ones
Ritz or the Townhouse?
I like the Townhouse.
These are Ritz. Townhouse is good too.
Townhouse
they both good.
Different.
But
them butter ones, them butter crackers. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know what they make Ritz out of, but it definitely can't be legal. It kind of gives me that cocaine feel because Coca-Cola used to put cocaine in their shit. So
you know what that means?
I don't know. I just be
El Chapo.
Word, Cam. How you know it's crack, yo? Yeah,
it's gotta be. It's gotta be.
Let me see you.
That's what I thought about opening powers too. So
She taking note of her competition right now. She like, so this is what they doing. This is how they utilizing Ritz crackers. Let me see what I could do with crackers now, moving forward.
So,
yeah, wow, you really agreed to that, John. Wow, she said,
randomly.
All right, yo, that's Queen of the South from down here.
Just randomly bring up crackers during a Mortal Kombat conversation. I'll tell you.
You want to have a snack episode? Top 5 snacks.
Okay.
Well, shit, I don't. Oh, okay, yeah. So now we can just get into the movie now, because obviously
I'll go last.
We want to talk about the movie. So the openings, we're gonna start with characters. How'd y'all feel about the characters in this movie?
I'll go first. So how I felt about the characters. So, I kind of like, my only interest was like, how the hell is Cole Young going to finish this movie? As soon as they told me as soon as I saw the first scene, I'm like, oh, okay, he's like Hanzo's kid. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just like, maybe Hanzo's kid would be a badass. I'm like, psych. This guy gets beat up like the first 5 minutes of the fucking movie. I'm like, but anyway, the casting, I think I like most of the casting. Colin, his acting was on point to me. He basically like got him right. Everyone else, I'm like kind of like the fuck. Fucking Sonya Blade and Jax. Jax basically got his ass beat up entirely the movie until he got his arms, like Sonya Blade was basically kicking out everyone's asses except Outward. So, but I mean, the cast was all right. It wasn't that great. The only ones I like was Sonya Blade and Kung Lao. That's about it. I don't know. I like Hanzo's character too. Hanzo and Sub-Zero. That's about it. Everyone else is like, they could hire someone better.
The one character that I did enjoy was Cabal. I thought he was pretty decent. I didn't like his dialogue. His dialogue was trash as fuck. But him as his character design, I thought he was straight.
That dialogue was clunky as hell.
Yeah.
It was very. I mean, I think the dialogue overall in the movie was very clunky for most of them. I get it, yo. People were kind of upset with the one-liners, like when Kano ripped out the heart, he's like, Kano wins. And it's like, look, I get sometimes the placement matters, but it was cute. It was cute, like, oh, that's nostalgic. Everybody dropping they one-liners in there, but Cabal's dialogue was very, like, awkward. Noticeably awkward for me.
I'm not saying nothing right now.
Hey, how you feel about the characters and overall? We'll get into next.
Cam hasn't gone yet. Cam hasn't gone yet. Abe is going. Alpha's going like. Cam, how you feel?
I bet Abe didn't go.
Wow, he said Abe going last. Okay.
I mean, Alpha. I said Alpha.
Yeah, but Abe.
No, you said.
Yeah, look at yes, I did. But I changed to Alpha. I did. Unlike Steve, I would admit that I did say that. But
how have I been confused with every other black person in this fucking crew, yo? That is ridiculous. The racism is astounding.
What's funny is that A was like actually talking. That's why I was like, well, go ahead and tell us.
Yeah.
And Bo was like, no, fuck that.
Yo, for real, dog, for real.
So it was like, fuck
yo,
that.
for anybody listening to this,
I thought he was done.
And any podcast organization listening to this, if you want to pick me up, I am a free agent. Clearly, I I really don't matter on this squad, so I'm available. Just hit my line, we can talk.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I apologize.
I can't.
Well, he gonna mute himself. He ain't even gonna tell us.
Alright, so I don't even remember the original question no more.
How do you feel about the cast in this movie?
You talking about me going on the tangent? This loud ass Jersey nigga started talking and lost his chance.
Oh my god!
Nah, I did it though. Hey, it wasn't even my fault. It was the African.
Nigga, you are the African too.
I'm sick of this.
Am I? Because my identity changes almost every other
This
episode.
nigga said the African. Nigga, you are the African too.
Yo, I just got called Alpha. I've been called Bo. I've been called Steve. I'm just waiting to get called Cam now that I'm wearing bonnets and shit. So my race keeps changing. You feel me? Anyway, in terms of the cast, I didn't really have a problem. When it comes to those questions for me, it's tough because when it comes to films, people are like, oh, who would your ideal cast be? And for me, I don't really have an ideal cast because I don't want to use the same like popular actors because you can find some really dope actors anywhere. For example, my first introduction to Chadwick Boseman was Black Panther. Then I went back and watched his stuff, saw he had range. Nigga, if anybody asked me before he took over, like, who do you want as Black Panther? I would have been like, I don't know, nigga, maybe Denzel. Shit, who the fuck knows? So as far as Mortal Kombat, it was cool. I didn't, representation was there, so that's dope. Cole Young's character kind of seemed like really
ass.
Basura.
Really,
he was a waste of casting.
Is he a white man or is he Asian?
I think
I don't want to offend nobody.
He's Blasian.
He's Blasian.
Yeah.
Well, Asian.
He's Blasian? Oh, okay. Because I was getting a lot of white vibes, and I'm like, damn, we really making the main character white as fuck, right? Even though he's supposed to be from the lineage. All right, you know what? Whatever. Go ahead, do your thing. But overall, I give the cast
whitewash the movie.
A B.
That's how you whitewash the movie.
That's the way.
We'll put mixed characters in there.
Cam,
you're up.
Okay.
I mean, is she over her laughing fit?
African, number 2. Please. Control yourself.
But you get these facial expressions out of here, yo.
Since it is my turn, the characters. The only person I really felt like.
So, Steve, what's the next question?
Anyway, so the only characters I really felt that brung their character, like as far as acting wise, brought it together, and I see that they played their character well. Kano definitely. I was okay with Kano. Hanzo. Scorpion, he was good for his. And then I thought Shang Tsung, but kind of the more I think of it, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what I was expecting. But other than that, the way these characters were coming through, I was just like, And I was especially disappointed with Molina. Like, bro, they had her face looking like she be eating garbage. Like, they had her like that throughout the whole movie. Like, yeah, her mouth stretches or whatnot, but the bitch ain't just sit there through every game and every movie just fucking bloody. Like, shit. The shit don't happen until she does a fatality on somebody or whatever. So, and you only like her Alpha because you think she cute. So I'm not gonna listen to your opinion on her.
No. When I get to my turn, I'm gonna speak on that too.
As I wanted to say, tell me why fucking Raiden sound like Batman from Dark Knight.
Why did who?
Raiden.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just overall, like, it was they just kind of gave me very campy-ish feels as far as the actors, but like for who I really felt like definitely brought they shit to the forefront. Kano, definitely, because he's an asshole, but the nigga's funny for the most part.
Yeah, they did a good job of that.
Yeah, they did a good job with Kano. And then Hanzo, he's from, if you go from like cinema mode based on the games, what they present, he definitely like displayed that. So yeah. But go ahead, Steven or
that's Alpha. Oh,
Alpha.
You going last? You want to rant last? So you want me to go now, or you want to go now?
Yeah, Steve.
You want me to go now? Or you
no, because I know he said he want to go last, and I didn't know how he was considering himself last. If he meant like last out of them or the whole crew. For me, like I said, I felt like they didn't have no workout regimen. Is what it felt like. It felt like Kung Lao and Liu Kang kind of just was like there. They didn't have no body definition. Wasn't no muscles. Like you ain't got to be swollen, bulky or nothing like that, but like at least be cut up, make it look like you work out. And they didn't look like that. Like when they did have that Liu Kang, you could tell Liu Kang had a stunt double because whenever they did they switches and they was like kind of behind him, he was clearly bigger than the dude that they had when they showed a frontal picture of him. That was like, yo, that's a crazy stunt double, and it wasn't hitting very well. And then everybody else, like even Kung Lao, like. He got basically a tank top. You know what I'm saying? His arms are showing the entire movie. His arms need to be cut up. Like they need to be something. This nigga look like me. Like he was just like, bro, what the fuck? Like, but I mean, that's just my opinion with the characters. I didn't like Raiden. I thought Raiden was a shitty choice, even though I do respect the fact that they kept him Asian and not white like the last one. So I respect that, but I didn't like Raiden. I hated Shang Tsung. I thought he was a trash choice. Shang Tsung, my bad. I thought he was a trash choice. Sub-Zero and Scorpion was straight. I like Cabal's character design. I don't know what the fuck they were doing with General Ryko. That shit was weird.
Don't get me started.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
Don't get me started on that Batgirl.
The Batgirl.
Yeah. Who was that? Natara? Was that?
Yeah. I didn't remember who she was. I had to actually look her up.
I didn't shoot.
I didn't even know who she was. I'm like, that didn't last long.
Like they did kind of bring, like to be the intro film, they did kind of bring some random ass characters out.
But
like to start, like for starter, it's like a starter pack of Pokemon, but with Mortal Kombat, they just kind of.
The thing is, I wouldn't be mad at that if like you put through in all these throwaway characters and stuff like that, because you plan on doing 5 movies, kill these niggas off if you feel like you need to show somebody die.
That would have been way acceptable than the direction they put the movie in. Mm-hmm. If you'd have put like those one-timer characters in the movie for this like supposed prequel
to kill them,
it would have been and killed them all, would have been way more acceptable.
Then killing Reptile and stuff, just especially when you plan on making this a 5-movie franchise, it just doesn't make sense. I get it, Kung Lao died in the tournament, but that wasn't. According to them, that wasn't the right Kung Lao because he said he's the descendant of the one that died in the tournament, right? Yeah. So if that's
he's a descendant of the original Kung Lao who won the first ever tournament back in the day when they actually was doing the whole Battle of the Realms. Mm-hmm. He was the first winner of Earth Realm, the only winner of Earth Realm, pretty much.
Yeah, Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and talk about the characters before we go into the story.
Okay.
And what we would have done to change that.
Let me pull out the notes.
Oh.
Okay. Liu Kang, scrawny bitch. Sonya, she was fine to me. Just cried too much, a little bit. She's definitely way stronger of a woman as a character. Jax, pretty fine, other than they gave him too much dialogue. He didn't talk that much in general. Mm-hmm. Cabal design, enjoyed it. Fucked up the backstory, but I'm not going to speak on that because they got their home like what Bo said, MKU verse. So fuck it. Scorpion. The only thing I didn't like about him is that he removed the mask to talk when he actually knows how to talk through the mask. Unless that was just the actor just having trouble trying to speak through it, that's understandable. But then if that's the case, you put like a microphone in the mask so he can talk to it to speak properly. Sub-Zero, fine. Just the color palette was just too black, too dark for me. is more lighter. Molina, where's the veil, motherfuckers?
Exactly.
Because from what I recall, she never showed her teeth until she's actually about to eat a motherfucker up.
Yeah.
And two, on top of that, you can't have Molina in the movie without having the person she was cloned after.
Right. I was like,
so that goes to what I said, like a fucking starter pack of like.
But
Mortal Kombat.
If that was like, if you're gonna have Molina in the movie, you have to have Katana in the movie. If you're not gonna put Katana in the movie, you don't introduce Molina. Don't get me wrong, Sissy Stinger's a bad motherfucker. I love you. Know that. Look, I love you. Let me do like this. I love you. There's no. I, Sissy Stinger, I love you. You better come back for the next one. Thank you.
Maybe she'll be Katana, but just dressed up as Katana.
Because she's literally a clone of Katana, so she looks exactly the same, but she's infused with Baraka's bloodline, who was not in the movie either.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's Molina. Let me go to Ryko. He's not a meathead. He's not dumb. He's not just a muscle-bound idiot. That's one. Even though he was only in one game, they definitely turned his whole character around. And as far as Reptile, I'm cool with how the lizard design looked. But what was more acceptable for me would have been if he came out as a ninja and his character developed into the lizard. But that's just me thinking more of how the game.
Wait, was that supposed to be like
that was
actual?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I ain't like that.
Yeah.
I ain't like that at all.
That was actually a reptile. When you saw a reptile, that is reptile in a fucking movie.
Oh,
and funny thing about it, they gave Reptile a name. So I'm like, oh, I never knew he had a name.
Yeah, the Slitheroth or whatever that shit is.
It's a Zato, something like that.
Slitheroth or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would have like, that's just me as a fan of the franchise. I would have liked to see him introduced as a ninja with reptile abilities, and then through their movies, he actually starts evolving into a reptile, and that's how you actually keep the character in your movie instead of killing him off the first time you see him in 5 fucking minutes.
Especially a character that's as big as Reptile. Like Reptile is most of the
he was an unlockable character, and you give him 5 minutes of the movie. But I digress.
A lot of those characters in the movie that they killed off were big characters. Like
I'm gonna say this. Shang Tsung says something at the end that death doesn't mean you're dead. So it's a possibility that the characters that supposedly died comes back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely, because when he said that, I definitely.
Well, the rumor is that Bihan is going to come back as new
Sabbath.
That's already confirmed. So
yeah.
I mean, because he said death is just a portal. Death is just a portal, and I'm like, that's a dope line, low key. That's a hard line for a villain to say.
So that's why, like, have some hope for Molina, because Goro's supposed to come back because he actually saved Goro supposedly. Molina, he has to save her because at the end of the day, she's still Shao Kahn's daughter, in a sense. So yeah, that's enough raging on the cast. Next question.
Wait, you forgot one person.
Who?
I'm not. Natara is irrelevant. She was a relevant character in the game. She's fine to just die like that. She made one appearance, and how she looked as far as the design, it was fun and perfect. There was nothing wrong with it outside her hair was longer. Other than that, it was cool for me.
I wasn't mad at that. Yeah. So we'll do story last. Let's do dialogue. Because one thing that pissed me off, and I'm a Jax fan. I like Jax. That's one of my characters. Jax is one of the cockiest niggas on that game in the Mortal Kombat universe.
Next to Kano.
Yeah, and this might just be me just being nitpicky, but at the end of the movie, when they're like, all right, you're gonna go here, you're gonna go there, and Jax looks at Cole and he says, what about Sub-Zero? Nobody can take him one-on-one. When I tell you I almost fucking turned my movie off, like, because Jax would never say no bullshit like that. He would have, even though he would have probably got worked by Sub-Zero, he would have never said that shit. He would have said, I'm going after Sub-Zero. And then they would have been like,
he would have said, I need to take care of Sub-Zero for what he did to my arms.
Yeah, but, and then they would have been like, nah, let's do this, level-headed type shit. They would have tried to level him out. But he would have never said no bullshit like that. Like, nobody can take that shit. Pissed me off so bad. Like, as a Jax fan, I was pissed. I was like, nah. So that just might be me being nitpicky. And then the finish him, Kano win shit, that shit was cringy as fuck. I would have rather.
Yeah, those like when they did those little comments, it was so awkwardly placed and interjected. Like,
I wouldn't have minded them having like a narrator kind of saying, and then at the end of a fight, he says flawless victory or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where nobody can really hear him technically in the movie.
Like a voiceover.
Yeah, but it would be like a voiceover, like, oh yeah, our travelers went over here, blah, 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 some shit. And then that way it would be cool if he say flawless victory or Kano.
I don't even think it necessarily would have worked with that unless y'all would have put unless they would have put more like sound effects behind the hits and stuff like that.
Mortal Kombat music.
Yeah, like I keep telling y'all, whoever did the score, that's basically the music. If I sound too technical, it's not a technical word at all. But whoever did the score, soundtrack for that was not like that. Wasn't it? Because I said the beginning music literally sounded like a fucking intro for Harry Potter. Like, it sounded like it could be some shit for Harry Potter. And then all throughout the movie, they had like like the soundtrack was just not hitting. Like, I didn't feel like, and I think that also played a fact in like how lackluster the fight scenes were. I mean, except Scorpion and Sub-Zero, they was with the shits, like I said, on site. Like, their fights were definitely like about it. But as far as the music, it's like the music was damn near just PG. Like, there was not one song they played in the background or something. I was like, you know what? I wonder what that is. I want to get that. And I expected them to maybe also try to remix the original song, because usually when it's a remake, everybody try to put their little stamp on there. If it has a original song that's been made popular, everybody tries to remake it. And I was just like, y'all really could have just stuck with the original. Y'all really could have just stuck with the original. Like, you really could have.
Other stuff with that where it was just like when you said that it sounded like a Harry Potter score or whatever. Mm-hmm. Funny enough, Kano even says like no Harry Potter shit in the movie.
Yeah, he does.
So that's actually funny that you said that shit. Because I watched it again right before this shit just to see like, is there any shit else that I want to critique on it? And I was like, damn, Cam did say that shit sound like Harry Potter. This nigga say no Harry Potter.
Like
shit.
It felt very like PG. Like, it's almost like they were kind of reaching to a certain crowd, but like it was almost like they were. I don't know. It very PG. Like the music, if music can be PG, like if wordless music can be PG, like it didn't move me. It didn't feel right. Like it just didn't like do it for me. And that's not to say whoever the composer and got together, you know, and made the songs, like it's not bad in that aspect, but it was wrong, used for the wrong movie. Like y'all got together and I don't think y'all understood. Yeah, y'all got together and allowed this shit, and I don't think y'all understood what type of they got the assignment and they didn't understand it.
Not what even was. It was another cringy ass line when fucking they was about to kill Kung Lao, and Buddy said, "Oh, he's about to get his soul took."
Yeah, like that just blew my mind because you hear oh, this is my favorite part. You know, dude's about to get it. You know, they're like he's about to get his soul sucked, and that also like ticked me off. Also, let us go ahead and say like if y'all listen to this, I want to say spoilers, but we don't know you just from Tom, Dick, and Harry. I'm sorry. So we won't know if you've seen it or not. So when we talk about this...
Ain't this shit coming out Wednesday?
I'm about to say
no, this shit is coming out next week, man. We don't give a damn about
No, because the next line, what I was about to say was definitely gonna be like directly related to it. But I don't want nobody to be like, "Oh, why you getting spoilers?" Like, bro, I don't know if you've seen it or not.
This is a movie review. We're not doing no spoilers free movie review.
But no, you can do movie reviews without actually giving away.
We're not doing that shit.
We're not doing that.
We never doing that shit.
Anywho, so basically,
done spoiled like 90% of the movie already.
Like I said, if y'all ain't seen the movie in its entirety, too bad. We kind of get into it, but
so sad.
Yeah, but what pissed me off is they like, oh, he's getting his soul sucked. These niggas come in there, like, and basically just watch this shit happen. Like they really could have saved Kung Lao, or like nigga, y'all surrounded by sand. Throw some sand in this nigga eyes.
No, what's even worse is the excuse that they came up with why he couldn't save him. Because they looked at Raiden and they said, Raiden, why didn't you save him? He said, I can't interfere with the tournament. The tournament ain't started, nigga.
Like y'all, like this shit is literally being done on the down low.
But he can't save every soul,
human,
which I get. As a god, you can't save everybody. You can't. But it didn't make sense for him to say that. And then he also said that about Scorpion's return.
Bro,
that was the problem. He still influenced Scorpion's return.
Because you know what? I also feel like they're gonna have him. If that's the case, I feel like they're gonna have him come back as the evil Kung Lao. Like
Shang Tsung gonna bring him back or something.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna bring him back as the evil Kung Lao, but it's like y'all didn't even give it a chance.
Depending on how they're doing this story, it's possible they're gonna bring an evil version of Kung Lao, which is not. And let me not start because I'm about to rant.
Go ahead. How about to say, did y'all want to add any?
Nigga, look,
I have something to say for the.
You've been sipping since you came home. You might as well go on your rant, dog. Like we can see it in your eyes. You hate it, so let that alcohol flow through you. Go on your rant right now. Let the world know how you feel about Mortal Kombat.
Abraham. You sound like the soundtrack for Mortal Kombat. Like you said you was gonna remix it, and this the remix we got.
Oh shit!
Talking about this ain't going on nobody's playlist.
Nah, when I rant, I want to come into a theme song when I'm about to rant. That's why.
Oh.
All right.
Okay. Why don't you use? You know what? I'm gonna need you to make Abe your thing. Listen, Abe just went through all of that to make you your own personal Mortal Kombat sound effect.
I'm out the OD. As much as I backlash Dragon Ball Super, that's the ultimate rant thing.
But anyway, I'm going to
go ahead, bro. Before Alpha go on this rant.
Yeah, so for the dialogues, I was just okay. So I watched the movie and I knew that I was going to watch it just for the fun of it.
Now, and I also want to say thank you, gentlemen, for interrupting me.
You'll be fine.
Will I? Will I?
You know why? Because you can.
Am I?
And you interrupted everybody. I didn't know we interrupted you. Honestly, I'm sorry. I don't know who did it.
Dead ass. I had no idea either.
Yeah, me
Alpha. Then it led to A with his song.
Oh, because you was
no, don't blame me.
Yeah.
But I was actually
you started it. You started it, but yeah, we did interrupt you. We did interrupt you. That's true.
Your comment led to us involving ourselves in it.
Yeah, so word. Steve, you was also involved in that too. Don't act like you wasn't part of that.
I said that's why I said I was like, my bad. I was like, I didn't know we.
No, there's no need to apologize because she opened the window and said the comment. It was free talk.
Damn, he said it was
it free talk?
It was.
Was it free talk about dialogue?
Well, you know what? You interrupted. Let Bo talk. Go, Bo.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
Now you know how I feel, Cam.
Okay, I'm gonna go now.
Fuck y'all niggas.
So for
y'all
the
heard
dialogue,
the hard R in there. Y'all heard that R, right? I heard that hard ER there. I definitely.
I mean, what's the difference between the A and the ER? Like, what's up, my nigga?
You heard. You heard.
She was about to go in.
Anyway,
go.
Okay, so for the dialogue, like I already said, I was gonna watch this movie without any
free me, nigga. No, because Alpha muted me.
These reviews people probably be cracking up at our reviews like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Abe's face said it all.
Bro, he sat up there and he muted me, and I was like, free me, nigga. Don't try to hold me back.
But anyway, oh my god. Anyway, so dialogues. I was watching the movie just for the fun of it. I wasn't really watching it for like, oh, I'm gonna expect this to happen. This happen. So I was expecting some corny shit. So I wasn't expecting it to be this corny. So I was like, after the first one, Kano wins. I'm like, okay, really? And the next one was like, fucking Vitality. I'm like, okay. The next one was the bad girl who got killed in like less than 1 minute, like flawless victory. I'm like, bruh, this one-liners, man. I was like, it's funny, but it was just so cringy to hear. Like I was like, it was just so cringy. I was like, oh, really? You gonna use that liner in there? Kano wins, flawless victory. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah. And then the one that took me out was fucking Sang Song. He didn't even look serious. He was like, your soul is mine. Like,
I wasn't intimidated by that soul is mine.
Yeah, I was like,
he was trash, bro. He was a trash.
He was so trash. I was like, dude, really? Your famous line, you gonna say it like that? Your soul is mine. I'm like,
bro, who was that? Somebody told me that the director of this movie he used to make Australian commercials. And
he used to make
this is his first movie.
Yeah, this is his first movie.
Hopefully he learns from that shit because this shit was ass. But go ahead.
And then the one thing that took me out with the most was fucking Raiden, how he sounded. Like I swear he sounded
too aggressive.
Sounded too aggressive, like he was fucking Batman from Dark Knight. I'm like, dude,
where is he? Where is he?
I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Are you Batman now? Raiden Batman from a different timeline in Injustice?
Trash.
Oh yeah, that shit was like,
that
shit was trash. But it was fun to watch, just for it was cringy. It was cringy. But
you know what else was cringy? Use the uppercut. Shut your ass up. Like I was like, shut your ass up, little girl.
You know what the ultimate cringe would have been if he did the uppercut. And I don't know you heard was toasty.
That shit would have been fire. But it was still cringy.
It would have been cringy as fuck, but dope. I don't care.
Uppercut. Uppercut. I told you to use the uppercut. I was like, bro,
you know what? Yeah, you know what's funny too? I'm like thinking that okay, he's gonna do an uppercut. His head is gonna Gold's head is gonna go flying. Like, nope.
Bro,
that's a weak ass uppercut.
A standard ass uppercut.
That uppercut was so standard. I was like, bro, that's your uppercut. I was like, no. I'm like, okay, I gotta watch this movie to the end because we gotta do a review about this. Because as soon as I watch it, I'm like, man, we just gotta watch. I just gotta watch to the end. I'm like, no.
All right, Alpha, go on. I know you got your show notes.
Wait. Alpha, before you go in, I do have a question for everybody here. It's a yes or no question. Mortal Kombat, Wonder Woman 84. Which one would you prefer to watch?
I honestly will say Wonder Woman. I would say Mortal Kombat because Wonder Woman.
You expected so long. I don't even remember what I wanted to add to the dialogue. So Wonder Woman. I want y'all to remember this. I'm keeping tally of the bullshit y'all doing.
I say Mortal Kombat because
keep tally of how y'all disrespect me too, Cam. Word, we on the same page there. Fuck your list. Continue, Steve.
Well, the reason why I would say Mortal Kombat is because you wasn't expecting much from the story.
Oh, they're looking like somebody auntie.
Well, Wonder Woman, you expected the story to be good.
You are an auntie.
I hate y'all. Yeah. Y'all back and forth bickering.
Listen, he looked like somebody Auntie Dolores over there.
But like with Wonder Woman, you expected something.
What you say, Steve?
It's
y'all go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say Mortal Kombat.
No, but I feel you.
As far as that, like you can watch Mortal Kombat and still enjoy the action in certain sense. Wonder Woman, I'm not watching a love story. I'm good.
And I'm good. Like you expected something from Wonder Woman because it's supposed to continue off with the rest of the DC universe. So that's the reason why I was more disappointed with Wonder Woman than Mortal Kombat because Mortal Kombat, like I said, I'm thinking Fast and the Furious or Kong versus Godzilla. Just give me something fun to watch. So I like Mortal Kombat more.
I would say Mortal Kombat as well, just because when you hear Wonder Woman, everyone has watched the first Wonder Woman movie, and you're like thinking that okay, Wonder Woman's gonna be badass in the second one, right? Like okay, she's badass in the first one, and then she came on, in Batman vs Superman. She came in there like ready to fight, and as Batman son was like, is she with you? Oh, no, she's not with me. I'm like, okay, she came in badass, and then we got this fucking sappy love ass fucking story from fucking Wonder Woman 84, 89, whatever fucking year it was, about him and about her trying to get over her dead boyfriend. I'm like, dude, not only a real boyfriend, he's in a different body, just looking like a boyfriend. So I'm like. And then the whole thing about fucking Wonder Woman is about the fucking witch. I'm like, and then the whole thing just like take your wish back, and then everything just goes back to normal. Like, really? That's the fucking climax of the movie? Really? No. Fuck it. Mortal Kombat over Wonder Woman. I'm done.
Cam, you go.
Oh, can I go?
Absolutely, Cam. It's your time. Wonder Woman 1984 or Mortal Kombat? Which one would you prefer to rewatch?
Neither.
All right, Alpha, your turn.
But as I am going to continue to say, neither. Because I told y'all I wasn't just overly impressed about Wonder Woman the first one. I feel like they could have did more. They did a good job, but I feel like they could have did more for her intro film standalone. But then 2 came along and it was like, huh. Diana.
Well, to be fair, Kim, I agree with you. I think it's because they with the first one they tied it too much to a love story. They focused too much on
made
her
too dependent on some dead man, and you know,
it's like, yo,
and
this
then
is,
her
this
flying.
is
like, okay,
Princess Diana, dog. It's Princess Diana. Yo, we don't need to tie her to a nigga, yo. We really don't. Of all characters, you don't need to keep tying her to a nigga. Let her just be her. And that's the problem. They introduced that in the first one, and they made that heavy in the second one. But we digress. This is a Mortal Kombat review, not a Wonder Woman review. You can go watch, listen to a previous episode for that.
It will be in the description below.
Link in bio.
So, Alpha, go ahead and give us your list of bad dialogue that you.
Wait. But
this
Cam,
is crazy. This is crazy.
Cam, are you done?
Okay.
Done with what?
So,
what you have to say?
Oh, have you finished? I want to make sure you were
y'all
able
done sit up here multiple times, continue y'all conversation after intentionally interrupting and overlooking me.
Make sure you. Wow, I was actually being dead ass, making sure you got to say what you wanted to say.
That's because you felt bad.
Man, you lost time after you did your Ritz cracker rant.
I ain't lose time. Y'all not gonna sit up here and overspeak me. So, anywho, so as far as the dialogue, I felt it was very campy. I felt it was forced. And they, in the interjection of those sound bites, they were awkwardly and oddly placed. And I just felt like they could have did way better. Because Jax, I was expecting a whole bunch of good one-liners, but it was like, nigga, did you just show up to filming like yesterday? And then Sonya, like all of her fucking lines was just trash. And you know what? And I feel like the guy who was playing Cole, the confusion he had with his lines, I feel like he was really confused in real life. And you know, just it was just all forced. It wasn't working. I wasn't happy with it. You know, I felt like it's some shit that these niggas would have worked. Okay.
The original question. That's crazy.
Yeah. So.
You know what else was
we feel
about the Sonya shit?
Good job, Cam. Great footage. Great footage.
Sonya Blade is special forces. She would have been wealthy for her to be living in that shack. And I feel
for her to even be fucking involved the way they set the shit up. Like, bro, why are you here?
Yeah, like, hold on.
That's what Kung Lao said. He's like, no.
Because if you going back on any of the games and even like the basic movie, the beginning, like, bruh, you just showed up and just like, oh, you know that, oh, they're looking for Earth's champions. Like, bruh, how you know? Like, how you know? Like, ain't you got a 9 to 5 or something like that?
Like, it made, like, that's what we were saying, that the only reason they made her poor was so they could use that line. No, I don't got no $3 million. Like, that was the only reason. I was like, that makes sense, because at first I was just like, it makes no sense to make her poor. And then JB and Spicy was like, they literally made her poor just so they could do I'll give you $3 million, Kano, and then they could do the one-liner. And it's like, bro, you wanted to do a one-liner that bad where you fuck up your script? Like, that's
that believe me, that wasn't when the fuck up started.
Well, yeah, but
that wasn't when the fuck up started.
I know that, but it's like, damn.
Like, so that one was kind of expected. It just fit in smoothly with the rest of the shit that was happening, and like it just. You know what? Go ahead, Alpha. Since you so determined and wrote down your notes, go ahead and give us on dialogue.
What about Abe though?
Dolores, you got something to say about dialogue?
Cam, shut up, yo. All right, we gonna square up after this.
Oh, okay.
That being said, like I said, the dialogue is overall a good number of it was forced. I get the one-liners from the game. I understand you kind of have to include that in there, but it could have flowed better, I guess. It would have made more sense if they dropped those one-liners during the actual tournament, but I know that they wanted to do like a setup to it. Jax lines, I know, Steve, you mentioned Jax is this uber confident. He really came off like a mama's boy, dog. Like real talk. That whole time until he got his arms and then he started feeling himself. Sonya was just like, I feel like Sonya had the personality that Jax was supposed to have, low key.
They both were cocky. They both were cocky. So
yeah, Kano was, I guess he was the best. Like, you know, shout out to Aaron from Black Anime. He mentioned it. While I love, this is my favorite line of the whole film, it didn't make sense for Hanzo to switch to English when he'd been speaking Japanese this whole fucking time. But hey, as soon as he said get over here, I replayed that joint like 5 times because I was like, yeah. Even though the fight was short-lived and not as dope as it should have been, but I was like, yeah. But overall, I get the dialogue like a C.
Okay, Alpha, go ahead and go.
Okay.
This what you been waiting for.
Wait, at this point, this is now this portion of the episode is now the Alpha show. All right, guys. So we're all going on mute because Alpha is about to take over for the next like 45 minutes. So it was nice seeing y'all. My description, my link is in the bio below.
Get over here. Let me stop. As far as the dialogue for me, the one-liners, I don't have a problem with, just wasn't placed well. That's all. Like, it was needed for the actual movie itself, but just wasn't placed in the, like, it didn't flow with the movie. Like Kung Lao saying flawless victory, that was probably the only well-placed one-liner in the whole movie. Only because he literally didn't get touched by Natara. Like, she tried to sneak up on him, he caught her, killed her. That's a flawless victory. That was the only well-placed one-liner.
True.
The Kano wins. That was just more of that was forced, but coming from him, it's acceptable because of how the character is. The Shang Tsung, your soul is mine, like I said, wasn't intimidating at all. Like, not to bring up the throwback movie, but when Shang Tsung said your soul is mine, when he had Liu Kang's brother as a kid, granted I'm older, that shit was like, nah, this is fire. Like, I could watch that, just that one part alone, I still be like, nah, I ain't fucking with this nigga. But the dialogue, like Cabal's dialogue was just, oh, I could make Kano on the outside. Like, bro, you're a good guy. You're on the wrong side to begin with. So that's one. 2, you're a trash character. Design is dope. You're just trash character. I feel like the scenes with Cabal were dope. How they was able, like the camera angles and how I'm moving fast and all that, I enjoyed it. It's just his voice was just annoying to me. I'm sorry.
Which huh?
What?
You said you felt what?
Okay, Cabal's fight scenes were acceptable because of how they was able to manipulate how his abilities work, because he's a fast character. So
okay, I thought that's what you said.
So the use of the camera angles for the character was fine. He just needed to shut his mouth. His voice was annoying.
Yeah, definitely.
And now back to what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted.
Yeah. I was like, you better mute her mic because she about to say some shit.
I ain't even touch the controllers.
Wink, wink. We know you didn't do it. Wink, wink. We know.
But Liu Kang, like, his dialogue was horrible only because they changed his character as far as like how the story is. So he sounded like, how can I say it the proper way? Like a servant. Like he's just there to like follow orders, be on Kung Lao's dick, and just keep it pushing. And he's a scrawny little bitch.
Yep.
So yeah.
He was the Black Power Rangers, by the way.
What?
He was the Black Power Ranger in that Power Ranger movie that came out a couple years ago. That was him.
I didn't see it.
Oh,
I'm
good.
glad I didn't.
Hold on. You say Cabal was the Black Ranger?
No, Liu Kang.
Oh, was Black Ranger? Hold on.
In that recent Power Ranger movie that came out?
Let me look at that. Let me look at that real quick. Nah. Let me look at that real quick.
But that's on dialogue. And I already know the next question is, how do we feel about the story?
Yep.
Y'all can go. Cam would go first. Miss Cam.
What do y'all want?
How did you feel about the whole plot as far as the story as a whole?
Oh, it's my turn? Thanks.
Give me a second.
As I stated, the whole plot of Dolores, is there something you wish to add?
Yeah,
okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Dolores.
Mute her mic while
she's
talking. That will not be a thing.
Dolores Pearl Jenkins.
That will not be a thing.
Dolores Pearl Jenkins.
I swear to God, that will not be a thing.
Mind yours.
All right.
Okay.
I'm already letting you get the pterodactyl in there. You're not about to.
You laugh like a pterodactyl. You laugh like a whole fucking prehistoric animal. Yeah, you better mute that. Anywho's, there you go. It's happening. It's on mute, but it's happening, y'all. It's happening. Oh, it's getting worse. But no, so as far as the actual, that's my best friend over there. You see him? There he is. You guys always see him in the back, but that is my best friend. One of my best friends. But no. So as far as the plot goes, that like for that to be like the intro film, because we can't even say it's a continuation from like the second movie or the first two movies. It was basically they, are kind of wiping the slate clean, I would say, and just, presenting something in this day and age. And it's like the plot was just like they held it, because at first the plot was together. It was a whole sheet of paper and they just wet the paper and just punched holes through it. Like the plots had so many holes in it. Like nobody explained like necessarily how the how they came to know about the tournament, not in depthly like they did with the first movie. And then you have Sonya, who's so deeply involved in it, and she's not even an actual participant of the Mortal Kombat, because even with Jax, he ended up becoming a participant of the tournament too, relatively at the same time as Sonya. And so you're meaning to tell me that Jax got his shit together, but you mean Sonya didn't? And then also with how they are doing, like how people got their powers, like that was like they made it seem like some fantasy magical type movie. It was just like, oh yeah, Kano all of a sudden got mad, and then the nigga's eye is just, so we not gonna have him with the whole actual scarring and needing to have the actual metal plate over it. And then here you come with Sonya with fucking random rings of Neptune and rings of Saturn around her fucking wrist. And then, like I said earlier, fucking Molina, they had her looking like she just fucking ate garbage throughout the whole damn movie. Like, bruh, she's actually pretty clean about the face. And you know, when she opens her mouth and it stretches, yeah, you see the actual teeth or whatnot. But they had her like dressed like, you know, cool. But then you get to her face and it's like, bro, what dumpster you been at? And it's like, for what? Like, for what reason? And then like they're talking about basically doing everything behind the elders' backs. Like the elders really, like they really ain't know, just like, hey, these human niggas just dropping off. Like, ain't anybody looked into that? Do we talking about who's supposed to be over there? And then Raiden with his whole, well, I can't interject into human matters and stuff. It's just, listen, they punched through that shit. They held up the plot and they just wet it, and then they just like fucking punched holes through the shit and then presented it to us. And the way they kind of ended it, it was like, I think they knew they had kind of fucked up, but then, you know, they added the death is just another portal type thing so they could, you know, have, I guess, hopefully, I don't know, maybe redeem themselves in the second movie or make it seem like there's a chance of it. You know, listen, the plot wasn't just hidden in the way that it should have for you to be presenting this as like a new movie. Because if you're aiming at the younger people, a lot of younger people they may have played the games, stuff like that, but a lot of them haven't actually seen the two movies. And then some of them probably don't even like play the game. A lot of people kind of just, you know, hyped to see like some fighting type game, and this is kind of what you kind of presented to them, like, hey, here you go. Y'all can go. Y'all can't interrupt me. I'm saying what I'm gonna say.
All right. I'll go next. So, I don't know where to start. So, as for the plot of the fucking movie, I would say that I wasn't really expecting much, because as soon as I heard how they were talking about it in my movie, I was like, well, this plot's gotta be at least decent. But nah, the plot was like all over the place. Like Cam said, there was too many plot holes to even count. So I was like, fucking. So I was like, how they fucking get the powers? Was that so like some Harry Potter shit? Like literally, like I don't know how to describe it. Like this shit was some Harry Potter shit. Like so Kano gets mad and furious, and next thing he shoots laser beams from one eye, from one special eye. They can't just make him shoot laser from two eyes. I mean, might as well, right? Shit. Because you know they just like say, fuck it, we're not gonna put the max on, because we're not gonna pretend that Kano has like a built-in robot eye that shoots lasers at his fucking face. But now we're just gonna give him powers to shoot lasers. Nah, they just went that route. And then yeah, it's just the way I just got the powers, like Cam was saying. And then towards the end, like, you know, I don't understand, like, first of all, why they do Sonya Blade like that? First of all, she's the fucking special fucking forces, special attacks motherfucking forces. Like, just trying to tell me that she never played a fucking part in a fucking movie, in a fucking tournament. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as she kills Kano, they're like, okay, we're going to give her the mark so she can be like, I'm like, really? That's all it took for her to get a fucking mark to be a part of the fucking tournament? And then she's just coming here like, next thing you know, she's doing acrobatics like she just learned, like she didn't learn how to do it. She just came in flipping like Spider-Man, and then pow, pow, and like she killed Molina. Like man, at that point I was like so done with the movie with that. So I was like, nah, man. And it just took like one blast from Molina, and she's like, pow, Molina's dead with a hole in her chest. They had to show the fucking hole in Molina's chest to show that, yeah, Sonya killed that bitch. Like.
Yep.
Just also one quick thing just to add, because it just reminded me when Bo said something like towards the end, did y'all not feel like that shit was like it was going to jump into another scene? Because you know, right when he was like, death is just another portal, did it not kind of feel before he said that? Didn't it feel like it was going to be a continuation, like there was going to be like another scene, like the movie is going to go on, instead of kind of feeling, because it didn't really feel like they ended the movie. It didn't feel like the movie ended.
I would have
accepted
the movie to end right there.
Well, low key, I kept when I was watching it, I kept moving my controller to be like, how much time is left in this movie? Because I feel like we still have so much. I'm like, we're gonna get to the tournament, right? Is that what we're leading up to? Like, wait, I got 10 minutes. Now I still feel like I got a whole hour to go. They should have just Snyder cut that shit and made it a whole 4 hours and just give us that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So something fucking Raiden. Oh, fucking Raiden, dude. Oh. So first of all, how the hell you gonna say you can't interfere with the tournament, but then you have the audacity to fucking teleport them motherfuckers out the fucking place and regroup and be like, okay, I can't interfere with mortals. I can't interfere with the tournament. Nigga, I didn't even know where the tournament started.
It never started.
I'm like, and then I'm like kind of confused how Sing Sung and his goons came into Radiant's tower, and then Radiant just basically blocked them with a fucking shield. I'm like, really? That's how you gonna block them out? And then they were like, I'll be back. I'm like, dude. And then they got and then it takes Cabal to convince Kano to fucking destroy that shit. Like, no one, you're trying to tell me that no one saw Kano fucking like backstab them? Like, I will keep my eyes on Kano 24/7, but nah, let this nigga walk free like he was like on the good side. Like, nah, fool, he's a fucking mercenary. You gotta keep your eyes on fucking mercenaries, dude. They let him fucking destroy the thing and brought the shield down, and then Kano went to the side like, dude, like, y'all are too carefree in this fucking tower. Did someone breastfeed you or something, man? You guys are too like comfortable in here, man. And then
somebody breastfeed you. For me, you still going?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. But apart from that, I feel Cole.
Damn, Cam, look at that. They let this man both finish, and they wouldn't even give you the courtesy. That's crazy.
And that's mad disrespectful, and we'll discuss about y'all man behavior later. Yeah, we gonna discuss y'all men type behavior.
I'm innocent.
I didn't know
y'all purposely interrupted the only woman on the podcast, and then we tried to circle back to it, act like it never even happened, and just continued on. But it's cool. Go ahead, Boris.
Don't say my name on live recording. But everyone knows my name already, so I don't care. Anyway, like I was saying, I'll kind of lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so I like everything else. Cole Young was a waste of character to be in there. Like, dude, I'm like thinking like, okay, cool. He's fucking Hanzo's fucking son. I'm thinking that he's gonna get some kind of special like abilities or something, But nah, dude, they gave this dude fucking like body, some kind of armor that absorbs impact.
They gave him plot armor.
Plot armor. No, there we go. Plot armor.
That was plot armor.
Another thing.
That was plot armor.
That was another thing that fucked up the plot, because at like 90% of it felt like it was just all basically about Sub-Zero and Scorpion, but they were so dead set to have like fucking Cole be related somehow. They were so determined to have that in there, like who he was and who he is. Like they were like determined to have that in there somewhere. Like that also just added to the plot being fucked up, because they were determined to put him in there, and then basically they basically made a movie about Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and everybody else was just there. Basically, the movie was Sub-Zero versus Scorpion, and then they wrote everything else around that.
That's Mortal Kombat, but I don't know. I'm
done.
Yeah, Steve.
So with me in general, like y'all said, Cole, I feel like you did an injustice to Cole and Scorpion, because you forced us to have to watch Cole. You forced him into the story. You forced him to be this character that I guess you obviously making him the leader, quote unquote, because he's the main character of this story. And he's giving directions on where people are going to go and stuff like that. So he's basically the leader. So if that's the case, you have to let Cole fight people one-on-one. Cole couldn't beat Molina. Sonya had to step in. Then Scorpion and Sub-Zero are having their fight, and then Cole steps in. So it's like you do injustice to Scorpion and Cole characters by not letting them have their individual fights. If you gonna let Sub-Zero, if you were gonna let Scorpion fight Sub-Zero, then let him fight Sub-Zero. If you want to let Cole fight Sub-Zero, then let him do it. But when you do these double things, you're doing the injustice to the characters and to really the rest of your story, because the whole story was about Scorpion's revenge. But you didn't even let Scorpion get his revenge. He had to fucking get help from Cole. I didn't like that shit at all. Then the power shit was trash. Like, I would rather you just, because you didn't do powers for Sub-Zero. Yeah, you didn't do powers for Sub-Zero. You just had them. Just don't tell us that, you know what I'm saying? Let them have powers from the beginning, and just don't try to put that into a story and try to make us believe that powers just manifest because you are mad or whatever. That shit was trash.
Trying to make a Super Saiyan kind of deal.
Yeah, it was stupid. And then the nigga Cole was getting his ass whooped the whole movie, and it was like, now my power is armor.
Even with the power, nigga was still getting slung in front of his like wife and kids. Was that his sister or was that his daughter?
His wife,
daughter. The one I was saying, do the uppercut. Do the uppercut.
Oh, she said that? Because for a second, I guess I missed that because I couldn't figure out if she was his sister or his daughter. And they were like orphans, just orphaning.
No.
Something like that.
And then the fucking polar tink arms that Jax had.
Listen, Fisher Price, my first arms.
That nigga had the fucking Cat Williams polar tink. The nigga had them shit.
Bruh, how did y'all?
First of all, how the hell did they get fucking like metal to put his arms together? Like, where's the robot scientist in that fucking tower?
He got his ass whooped by Sub-Zero. They went to go see Sonya, and he somehow beat them to China. He beat them. I was like, "Come on, bro!" Like they didn't say
when they got him. They supposedly went and got. But listen, with the way they had Sub-Zero throw this nigga to the wind, and he like hit his head and side and stuff like that. Ain't no way talking about. The orange, because
that nigga dead. That nigga dead.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he had to be dead. Like he was very unalived.
And then on top of that, you fucking everybody had the little mark, and the mark gave them a power. So you basically telling me that he had this mark, and if Sub-Zero doesn't break this nigga arms, his power was still gonna be arms. What was his?
He got Fisher Price arms,
bro. His power. He had no arms. His power was basically they attached metal arms on him, so that's not even his power.
Jax looked like a great value Terminator, yo.
Bro, what was his fucking power?
That's what that was.
Jax had power.
I did dislike that shit because it's like, hey, your powers have to awaken, right? And then it's like, oh, you get your ass whooped. Then all of a sudden, your powers didn't awaken. The metal awakened.
Yeah,
your attachments awakened. Like, what the hell?
Then on top of that, Goro is the fucking champion. Goro has 0 bodies in this movie. Zero. Cole's power.
And they were like, yo, we are so honored to have Prince Goro.
Prince Goro is here.
And then he get
worse.
Fucked him up. Okay.
On top of that, no. Goro had Cole in his hands, and then he's punching his body like, nigga, he doesn't even have his armor yet at the time. And he punching Cole. That's death. Like Goro is fucking 300 pound, whatever. 6
Goro hit them both in the head and in the gut at the same time. And this nigga was still alive.
And we know how
not concussed.
Let's just say this. Let's just say this. Toriyama wrote this shit. Let's just accept that. Let's just accept that.
Not even then. Sonya and Kano are fighting. Sonya and Kano
don't call
fighting.
me. Don't call my name.
Sonya and Kano fighting in the house. The first thing Kano does is use his laser 3 or 4 times to hit Sonya. He never hits her. They get face to face. He doesn't use his laser. Doesn't use it like so. Then she throws whatever she does in his eye, or whatever, and now he can't use it no more.
Bro, she was scurrying around that fucking house like the children under the fucking stairs. I mean, the people under the stairs.
Bro, she was playing whack-a-mole with this nigga. Bro, I was like, yo, what the fuck is this shit? Like, bro,
like how
that fucking, and it was like I didn't expect much, but it's like you can't force me to expect something. And then be like, what did you expect? This Mortal Kombat. No, you tried to make me expect something. You literally, you did the opening scene, which was straight. Then you started saying, oh, well, this mark is this kind of story. So you're trying to force a story on me. So now, yes, I expect stuff. So all you people that was saying, what do you expect? It was Mortal Kombat. No, nigga, like we had already was at the point where we didn't expect shit, but then they tried to force a story.
Yeah, they just dropped us right in the middle. No, so like, telling where we at. We just done had
a try to force shit on me and then turn around and be like, "Nah, what do you expect?"
I'm telling you, they was on some straight Vegas shit. You done got fucked up, and now you just how did I get here,
bro? They wrote themselves in the corner after corner after corner. It was trash.
And except
like
for that,
Toriyama helped write the script.
Bro, what could be worse though is like you have a 5-movie contract, right? So
depending on how the first film goes.
Yeah, the truth. But if this is what your plan is to have a 5-movie contract, what I would do is not start the tournament going into the 9th tournament. I would have made these niggas lose in this first movie.
But with the way they had the shit set up, they kept consistently saying, "Oh, if they lose one more tournament,
exactly." That's what I'm saying. But you got 5 movies. Everybody knows more.
But they trying to dust and unalive these niggas before they can get to it.
The problem is that you can't fix it. You can't fix it with how the first movie went because they made it seem like, yo, we're going to jump these niggas before the tournament starts. And we don't take out, so there is no tournament. So it's like if they had lost, and then if they had ended up losing, it would have been like there's no point of future movies. Like it's done. It's wrapped.
They should have started this at like
as far as losing wise, they could have been like in a bad position, and then ended the movie.
That too.
The second movie could have been a redemption.
Yeah, cliffhanger.
It would have like the first movie did, but
just like how Infinity War, like Thanos came through, ransacked everything. Endgame, it was the redemption and how they was able to overcome that. That's how it should have been.
Yeah,
but this is Toriyama we're talking about.
I would have definitely been okay with like we starting off at tournament 8 or 9. And then, like, since you want to force Cole on us and the nigga is non-existent, he could have died in this tournament because it would have been like, who is he anyway?
Bro, they would after they made him showed his relation as to who he was and how he was there, they couldn't go back. And,
no, they could have killed him off, and Scorpion could have replaced him, and that's how the movie would have been, and I would have been fine with that.
They flexed that nigga they flexed him in the trailer too much. Because people were anticipating, like, who the hell is he? They couldn't just have,
I'm like, who the hell is he? Like, why the fuck he's in my movie?
That's what I'm saying. It could have made so much sense if you'd have made this tournament 9 or 8, because then you kill him. It makes sense. Who the fuck was he anyway? Nobody knows who he is, so that's why he's dead. You know what I'm saying? That would have been cool, in my opinion. But it's just, for me, like, I just was like, bro, y'all really are trying to make us care about characters and stuff like that. And then when you do that, you can't fucking turn around and you can't do that shit. And then, like, it's a martial arts movie. I expect
they're fight themes. I
didn't have a problem with the Sub-Zero versus Scorpion fights. Those were
those were good.
Those were the good fights. And then I didn't even notice, like, those were the only fights where there were 1 shot. Scorpion and Sub-Zero were 1-shot fights where everything else were cuts. they kept cutting. Yeah. I didn't even notice that until they told me about it yesterday, and then I rewatched it.
Yeah, I have to rewatch it and figure it out because it really felt like, with like you said, with the exception of Sub-Zero and Scorpion, their fights were very well done in choreography. Choreographed. There we go. Mm-hmm. That where it is. Choreographed. But everybody else's fights looked like it was done by their
by the stunt double.
By their stunt doubles. But the thing is, there are like stunt doubles. They train to be able to be rough and tough.
I thought you said Sun Devils. That's what I saw. That's what I reacted to.
No.
I was like,
no.
Continue, Cam.
No.
I need more drink.
But no, so it looked like it was a fight between stunt doubles and you know that there are stunt doubles that they're trained to be doing the physical stuff. So I don't know why they couldn't have choreographed better like fight scenes, because there are people that they hire to do like professionally, that professionally choreograph fights. But with the exception of Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and I don't understand why they put so much behind that, or maybe they just had,
that's because those are actual martial artists, though. The dude that plays Sub-Zero is in Warrior as well, and the dude that plays Scorpion, I think he's in a couple scenes in Warrior. But those two are actual like Jet Li, Jackie Chan like type martial artists or whatever.
Okay, so they at least had their. Well, shit, if that was the case, they should have definitely doubled on seeing if these guys could have choreographed everybody else's fights. Other than that, you just have Jax coming through with his Fisher Price My First Arms, Sonya with her rolling around, hit me if you can, and Liu Kang was supposed to, they hold him. They hold my nigga. He was like down for the shits. He was with the shits. And also they because they tried to do like gore-ish. They try to add the gore factor because as the MK games have went on, they have got more, explicit with the fights, like from snatching whole people's bodies out and exactly.
Especially the X-rays too. The X-rays in the game.
Yeah, they've gotten more and more like explicit and gory with it. And like they try, and the only thing I guess maybe with Jax in the head, but I would have to say like Liu Kang, he definitely did that for Katara, not Katara. God damn, how did I forget her name? Not Cabal, but what is the bad girl? Huh?
The what?
The bad girl? Molina.
No, it's not Molina. It's the cat. I mean, not the cat. No. It's the
Natara at first.
Natara, yeah. I was like Natara, but no, Natara. But yeah, because with Natara, like that was like legit. Having his head, not his head, but his fucking hat still spinning, and then just basically saw her right in the middle. Okay, that did it. Like, but it's like they tried to add different elements and stuff like that. So for them to have had him do all that, at least semi-decent fighting, and Kung Lao, shit, I've been calling this nigga Liu Kang, Kung Lao.
I was wondering.
Yeah. So with that, just they could have did better with the fight scenes, because I was like, it felt like they did not do that right in the least bit for everybody else.
Yeah, I never knew that they was chopping them scenes up like that. Like they was like I said, I didn't know until I had a group conversation with the other people that I was doing it with, and they was like, they was like when Sonya and Kano fought, they was like it was like 11 cuts in that fight, and I was like, I didn't even notice it, and then when I rewatched it, I was like, oh yeah, there's a lot of cuts, whereas the Sub-Zero Scorpion joint is a straight through fight.
Yeah, it was way more fluid.
Yeah,
because there was no cuts at all, pretty much. Like when they had the Glimpse fight in the desert. That was cuts.
The reptile fight joint.
That was definitely cuts.
Major.
Everything with the Cabal part was cuts as well.
Yeah, I didn't notice this. Yeah, and I guess from a movie critic standpoint, that's when I was like, oh shit, y'all niggas is really. I'm in here as an amateur in here.
I noticed it because me getting into the whole video editing thing. It's stuff I was self-teaching myself how to learn. So when it came to the cuts, it was oh, I see that, and comparing everything else, it was more fluid. When they was doing the training part, that was cuts as well. Only thing was one shot, it was the Scorpion Sub-Zero parts. The beginning was when they fought, and then at the end, it was barely any cuts, minimal, but it was a straight run.
Yeah. That I don't know, but
fuck the plot.
So that's how you feel about the plot? Just fuck it.
In the words of Kano, you got pen and paper? The fuck. Okay. Everybody went or no?
I don't think Abe went. How you feel about the plot, Abe?
What plot?
Okay, there you go. See, smart man. See? I knew I fucked with Abe. See,
you're a good man. I don't care what they say.
But whatever Ken say about you is not true.
No, it was. It's definitely true. So no need for us to lie the rest of the night.
Oh, okay. As far as the movie, as the plot, it wasn't made for true fans. I feel it was dedicated more to casuals to bring in a newer fan base.
I mean, a fan's a fan. A fan's
a fan. I felt
but even as that, yeah, but
MCU.
Yeah, but still, even if you a fan's a fan, and they could have gained more fans if they had did something better. If this is going to be, like I said earlier, if this was going to be what they were going to introduce people who are just never heard of Mortal Kombat, this isn't it. Because I mean, if you into some shit, if you casually into this shit, or you hardcore, obsessive into this shit, okay, that's fine, whatever it is. But a fan's a fan, but they didn't make it for anybody but just to say that they made it.
I'm gonna say this. A lot of people that doesn't know Mortal Kombat enjoy the film. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, I can definitely understand that, but
that's why I said it was made for a lot of casual fans.
It wasn't even casual fans, because casual fans would even catch some of the stuff.
Through my Facebook timeline, Twitter timeline, people that said they enjoyed it. I asked them what do you enjoy? Have you played the game before? Do you know anything about Mortal Kombat? They say no, but I enjoy the film. And you know what? I'm not going to ruin the film for you. Enjoy it. And I left it at that.
They made that movie just to make that movie.
But I explained to them, if you happen to want to get into the game because of the movie, and you rewatch the movie, you're not going to like it. That's all I said.
Yeah, they could have took. I don't know if you guys ever went on YouTube.
Took whole fucking ass out. Fuck all that.
Yeah, because I told you they were dead set to put him in there some way, somehow. They made the movie basis was originally Scorpion versus Sub-Zero, and they wrote everybody else around that. But I don't know if you guys have ever took the time or whatever and watch the Mortal Kombat cinema mode. I like to watch the cinema mode, when people play the games, and they basically just put the videos together, and it basically becomes
That's what it's doing right now.
Yeah.
Had the whole thing in the background the whole time.
I just thought you had something on repeat.
I just thought
I know you've been into video editing and shit, so I thought you just had something on repeat. I was like, he done got good. He done got good at this.
That's the cutscenes from Mortal Kombat 9 as supposed to go straight to
yeah, because like how they put it together, like it's basically a whole movie. Like they have people like that. Like they could have picked any of those, and
I'll tell you this: the cutscenes from the games was better than the movie.
Like I can watch the cutscenes put together to make a movie and just be like, okay, I'm fucking with this, but even
the storyline,
took the cutscenes and be like,
retcon a lot of stuff. They definitely try to retcon a lot of things. Like one thing that I accepted that was realistic, even though it's not part of the actual lore of the game, is how Jax lost his arms. Like Sub-Zero freezing it and breaking it off. I'm fine with that.
Yep.
I'm not going to complain about it.
I done seen him lose his arms 35 times. They got so many different ways.
But the main reason he loses his arm is because there's another ninja named Ermac who pulls his arms apart. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Liu Kang's character was just too soft as far as like when the plot. Like I think he was literally Kung Lao's shadow the whole time, which was actually the other way around. Because Liu Kang is the chosen one, and Kung Lao was more of like a bodyguard to him.
I wasn't even expecting Kung Lao to even like. I mean, in the trailer or whatnot, but in the whole aspect of it being like, I guess, an intro movie, I definitely wouldn't have expected him to be there. Like Kung Lao did come a little bit later, but if anything, I expected at least the basic starters. Liu Kang, Sonya Blade, Jax, Katana. Even have Jade pop up in there with her like quickness and just.
That's why I like. There was so many missed opportunities. Like
Molina.
Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers is connected to the DCEU. Where's the Snyder Cut? Because they like there's so many plot holes in the movie. It makes no sense. Like you don't explain how Hanzo becomes Scorpion when he goes to hell. I just say he goes to hell and that's who he becomes.
The blade freed him. I was like,
yeah, I'm like, hold on.
Like the touching of the blade caused kinetic energies. That made no sense. And like Cole, the motherfucker that does not deserve to be in this movie. You getting your ass whipped since your introduction in the movie. You face Goro, who's a 4-arm monster whose punches can punch holes through people. And you survive. And then you end up getting your power, which is plot armor. I don't care what anybody say, it's plot armor. Toriyama, you fucked up. Toriyama, you fucked up. I'm gonna run with this because Dragon Ball Super. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna say Dragon Ball Super. Anything that happened after the Cell arc, Toriyama's been fucking up. And I think parts of this. He had parts in this film. It's an Asian film. Who you call? Toriyama. Can't fix your face. I know that's your boo.
He ain't lying. You're lying.
What?
You Cole dirty Q-tip. You watch how you talk to me.
Talk to me? Oh.
Dolores, what is wrong with you?
Miss Kim from next Friday. Leave me alone. You better leave me the hell alone.
Another thing, they killed off a lot of the main characters too soon. Like, if they don't come back for the next part, then it defeats the purpose of certain characters being in the franchise.
They're not in the tournament. They're not in the tournament.
Like Molina, Goro, like they like the main one. Sub-Zero is
everybody, Kano.
Because he becomes Noob Saibot, so he's not dead. That one I accept. Kano, he definitely should have been dragged on further. Natara and Ryko, you could kill them all. They one time won the characters. Yep. Kano could have got a second film to go along with his devious ways. Cabal, I'll accept his death.
You got Reptile.
Reptile, he should have evolved with the franchise. I'm sorry. Yeah. He should have popped up as a ninja, and before they tried to kill him, he ran away. Acceptable. That's it. And to the point, the way they could have found where their lair is, Sonya Billy is a fucking special forces. Put a tracking device on the motherfucker. Yeah. They could have did that.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit, but
but like I said, matter of fact, one other thing I seen too. Somebody said, when was Sub-Zero ever a villain? Y'all don't know the fucking lore.
You don't watch the show.
Like, yo, Sub-Zero's been a villain since day one.
Just because that's your favorite character. That's why people don't.
Y'all confusing Sub-Zero that's in this movie with the current version of the game, because that Sub-Zero is his younger brother.
Yeah,
who has a different aspect on how he views on the Lin Kuei. Bihan, the proper name is don't give shit. He wants his clan to be the clan of all clans, which is understandable. So he has that mindset. But once he gets killed by Scorpion and becomes Noob Saibot, the Lin Kuei ways start to change when Bihan's little brother, I forget his name, takes over, and the Lin Kuei is treated different. So yeah, Sub-Zero always been a villain. Understand that, casual fans.
Well, with that being said, we're like an hour and 50 in. So what's y'all rating? What's y'all ratings on it since the overall rating of the movie?
Mine is a 6. Reason I gave it a 6 was the fight scenes was good. I like the fight scenes. Some of them could have been better. The really good ones was basically the Scorpion versus Sub-Zero. Those were the only like good enough fight scenes. The rest was like fucking, and then the way they introduced the power. So basically, you have to get your ass beat up to a point that you have to unlock your powers. Like, dude, that doesn't make sense. So you're trying to tell me that I have to like basically face death in the face to unlock my power, or just get super angry? Like, that's like a useless way to introduce.
That's a death sentence, because if I'm getting my ass whooped, that probably from different people from the outworld that already got their powers.
Yeah.
That means they're using their powers on me and I'm about to die. That whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
that's good. Stupid, but. Yeah, it is stupid. And then they have, I don't know why they introduce Cole Young, because it just doesn't make sense for him to be in the movie. They basically did it. This is what they personally did. They basically pulled a Resident Evil type of bullshit. They brought in Milia, who plays some kind of random actor. I forgot what the actual name of her character is in Resident Evil. They basically brought in one random character in the fucking MK movie, just like they did in Resident Evil, and just made her the main character to like make it through the whole Resident Evil movie. That's what they're doing for Cole Young. Cole Young's gonna be the main character throughout the whole goddamn movie, and they're trying to make him important when he's not even, when he doesn't even fucking exist in any fucking MK universe whatsoever fucking ever. Like I already looked that up, read it so many times, and I've never heard of a fucking Cole Young in any MK. I was looking his name up when they mentioned his name in the fucking trailers. I'm like, who the fuck is Cole Young? I'm thinking like, oh, maybe it's gonna be fucking Johnny Cage, but nah, they're gonna fucking get Johnny Cage in the next fucking movie. When it says I'm going to Hollywood, I'm like, oh my fucking god, it's not with Johnny Cage.
We didn't even talk about that bullshit.
Yeah.
Because it's like that was like some more cringy ass dialogue.
That was
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
I'm going to Hollywood. What you going to Hollywood for? Not for what? Who?
For who? I'm like, oh my god.
Hollywood. And then they show the poster. It's like, nigga,
really?
Everybody knew who you was talking about. You showed
they showed the poster when they first introduced Cole. You just don't pay attention to it because you pay attention to Cole.
They did.
And they just show it. It's come on, man. It's like, bro, yeah, that's some more cringy shit. So you give it a 6. You give it a 6. Hey, what you give the movie? You give it a Scorpion?
I'm giving it a 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
Cam, would you get a movie?
I'd say maybe 5.5, depending on how you tilt your head. And even with that rating, I will still see part 2 because I want to see how they're gonna clean this up. And that's crazy because
I'm gonna see part 2.
Yeah, if it's enough, because they basically got blown out of the water by Demon Slayer, which was to be expected because that got pushed off so long that I knew people were gonna show up for that. But for box office, MK got blown out of the water by Demon Slayer at the box office.
Yep, he blew the fuck out.
Demon Slayer earned more money at the box office than Mortal Kombat this past weekend.
It was the opposite.
Nah.
No.
Nope.
I heard Mortal Kombat made 22.5 million.
Demon Slayer broke the record again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, maybe they had more subscribers tuning in.
I think they was counting the subscribers from HBO Max as well. And
but yeah.
That's why it was definitely higher.
But
I would definitely recall that.
I look. Mortal Kombat narrowly defeats Demon Slayer in opening weekend.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
When is that one recorded? Because over the weekend it was
yesterday.
Demon Slayer was winning from what I recall on Saturday, but by the end of the weekend, Mortal Kombat edged them out.
Yeah, I see that. I see right now. It says Mortal Kombat pulls ahead of surprisingly strong Demon Slayer.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well, last time I checked,
so that's why we're gonna get more movies because money talks, and Warner Brothers loves their money. They don't care about story, they don't care about plot, they don't care about continuity, they don't care about cohesiveness. They just care about money, and they got their
So basically, with that being said, like even if I give it a 5.5, depending on the tilt of your head, I would still see 2, but for this to be what they presented to me, this definitely a Rotten Tomato in its first stages.
I want to see it again. I'm planning on the same thing that I'm thinking, like going in with no expectations, but for some reason they're gonna suck me into thinking that it's gonna be a good story and it's gonna piss me off again. But
I already know how that seems.
It's like I know, but for some reason,
as long as the first movie sticks with how they got that power and that type of shit, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go on with some extra little expectations when I'm going to see the second one.
Lower expectations.
So
y'all remember that from Mad TV?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I do.
I didn't watch that much Mad TV.
Yeah, me too.
I gave this movie, I gave it a 6. Just because it was just mindless entertainment is what I was hoping for. The fights alone kind of saved me some saving grace, and then everything else was just trash. So I'm giving it a 6 just because of I'm giving it a 6 off that opening fight. That Scorpion Sub-Zero intro fight was dope as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed the shit. Alpha?
Just give it a 2. Just 2 again. Go.
Alpha muted himself and turned off the camera. All right. So that's how Alpha feels about the
It's like I ain't gonna rate the movie. We're just gonna exit out.
Fuck Toriyama.
Well, we about 2 hours in. We ranted enough.
We are 2 hours in.
Yeah, so y'all follow everybody on the
About an hour 45.
Hour 45? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right, because the first 15 minutes we was but yeah, follow everybody, follow all the Mob people, somebody going to jail. I mean, by now y'all should know our social medias, and if not, just click on.
If you don't know, it'd be in the description down below. Yeah, fuck Toriyama.
Yeah, find us on Twitter. You can link with us out there. Check our link tree for all our social media to find out where we are. And once again, same place, same time. Thank you for joining us or sticking it your way through and see the movie. It may work for you.
Also, don't forget, check out Bonnets and Books.
Yes,
that's a new series, and Bonnets and Books, and be expecting another late night ladies night. So
and Gaming with a Blerd, another episode coming up too.
Check out all our shit.
Yeah.
Also check out.
Go join our Patreon. Follow
our
YouTube.
Yeah, shorty. Hasn't launched yet, shorty.
Check out the Osa and A.
Oh yeah. Go check out Osa and A podcast. Yo, we going up. Fuck with y'all for real.
Y'all, when our Patreon drops, y'all go ahead and come through.
Boy, Cam would get mad at everybody for cutting her off and cut everybody in the motherfucking world off.
Check out Machina Mixer as well.
Oh yeah, Machina Mixer.
Damn, we got hella shit going on. Hey, turn up.
We got
taking over.
Going on.
Y'all niggas
right, Pinky? We taking over the world.
Yeah.
One city at a time. Okay, I'm done.
All right. Well, with that being said, we out. Peace.
This
is gonna be my new little.